On to the next topic I want to get into, and this is Airbnb rentals and how it's changing the market. Anthony, what do you think about the Airbnb?
What do I think about Airbnb? I think it's another one, but that's another convo we can have again, that people might say, hey, there's pros and cons to it. I would try it. Why not? I would give it a go.
Airbnb, I would try it.
But here's the thing. Who's not guaranteeing that your place can end up being a fucking wreck?
Yeah.
After you get it back.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to deal with renovating it, cleaning it up, fixing it up. There's horror stories. Have you seen the Airbnb horror stories?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of horror
They're terrible.
stories.
People have to spend tons of money to fix those Airbnbs up. And I think there is different because there's no insurance covering the fixing up of your place.
No, you can get insurance for that. Yeah.
Unless you have it yourself.
No, yeah.
But I'm saying on the person, they don't have insurance for that.
If you were doing Airbnb and you don't get insurance on it, then you're dumb.
For yourself. But I'm saying with a car, it's different because with a car, before they get in that car, you have to ask them if they have insurance. They have to prove you that they have insurance because if they get in an accident, their insurance is covering your shit. Here in Airbnb, it's different. You have to get an additional insurance to cover your own shit just in case somebody does something stupid.
Are you sure that's how it works?
I think so.
I don't know.
We'll have to do some research. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care if you correct me.
No. If someone in the audience wants to find that, do some
comment
research
down below.
But
if I'm right, Brian might change his decision later.
Well, no. Look, Airbnb, I will do Airbnb all day just because it's one simple reason. I know where my house will stay.
Brian, let's not lie. It's because you're a broker.
Yeah, I'm a broker. But this is hold up. With a rental car, someone can take that and steal it and disappear, and you lost the car.
No, I agree.
With a property, it's fixed. If you have, and you can actually upscale. You can up it. That property, if you do certain amenities, you add certain features to the home. There's a lot of things you can do and add a lot of value where you can get a large return on investment. With a car, what are you gonna do? Put a little air freshener, some rims? No, man, that's not added value. When you're doing Airbnb, it's all about the experience. So if you're able to provide a better experience, a better niche for that clientele that's going there, they're gonna pay top dollar and you can squeeze a lot of money.
Oh, I agree. I would definitely try Airbnb. I want to do it. Well, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
We've talked about possibly doing an Airbnb venture and seeing how it goes.
But then the other thing is Airbnb good for the market?
Is it? What do you think?
I think it's gonna mess up the market big time.
Yeah? You think it's gonna fuck it up?
It already is. It's already happening. Think about this. Our generation is the investor generation. When you ask everybody what's their American dream, they're not thinking of a white picket fence, backyard. They're thinking about becoming an investor. So when everybody you speak to is talking about investments, asset allocation, what they're doing for their portfolio, and everyone's doing Airbnb, what happens to the market? Now you're having to shift the money. The baby boomer generation is starting to die out, and our generation is starting to inherit that money. Now they're using that money to buy more properties. You start getting to the Airbnb model, what happens? All the available property that's supposed to be there for the regular local resident, now you're squeezing them into this renter market, which is going to be very competitive. And now look what happens. All the available inventory, because now you're getting people, and I'm going to talk about Miami here, available inventory that's out there right now, condos, single-family homes. People are coming down here from California, New York, buying it with cash, buying the property however they're doing it, and they all have one thing in mind. This is my vacation spot. So locations like Miami, it's going to be very hard for the average resident it's going to be very difficult if you're on a fixed income to get out of your situation, because think about that. If everyone's buying these properties and they're using it for Airbnb, why would they ever want to rent it again? Because Airbnb's profit margin, the vacation rental profit margin is way higher.
Yeah, we're in a vacation emporium.
Exactly. So that margin that's in those properties is ridiculous.
So do you think it depends on the locations you live in?
Well, let me just finish this thought, though. The market, because of this and new inventory is being created, how are you going to address the new people that need homes or the new families that are coming up? It's going to be very hard. It's going to create not just an inflation. It's going to create inflation, too, in prices, but it's going to create a lot of disenfranchised people who, unfortunately, would love to own a home, but they can't afford it anymore.
So do you think it's going to also help? Do you think, I don't want to say, obviously we don't want that happening, but do you think it's also going to push people away and it's going to start helping growing smaller cities that are around the areas, in other areas?
I think it's a great tool. I think Airbnb is going to help a lot of smaller, like you said, smart communities really get exposure. But for the residents that are living in those areas, if you're not prepared, you are definitely going to feel a big pinch in your pocket.
So what's a first step solution to start, moving forward with in this market that we live in now?
In what? In like owning a home, or what specific?
As a person, as somebody who's a current resident, somebody who's a native in their city, and they see this issue going on, what's a first step they can take to protect themselves, or to even be able to evolve within their own city and scale and buy property and be able to live in a city that they were born in? Because you're seeing a lot of people who were born in their city, they're getting pushed out because all the people that are coming from outside with heavy money are pushing them out. How can you prepare yourself as a native in your city? Especially, like, let's use Miami, for example. As a Miami native, how can you prepare yourself so you don't get pushed out?
So I think it's like a that's like a 3-prong approach. So it's gonna have to come with legislation, then it's gonna come with financial preparation, and then I'm gonna say the other thing is action, in intensive, or what is it, or direct action, if I'm saying that wrong. But I'll start with legislation. If you have people coming down here, and a lot of people become disenfranchised, they can't own homes, rents are shooting up. We were talking about the other podcast, our rent shot up like $500-600. More. How fair is that for people who live here, who are residents, who are feeling that pinch right now? I think the community leaders need to speak up. They need to talk, because if you start pushing these people out, you're kind of alienating a population. You're having massive gentrification going on throughout Miami. There needs to be a voice out there to speak, to create more affordable housing, more opportunities, and start creating new opportunities basically for people. And then now preparation. Now if you're a resident like us, we know what's happening. So what are you going to do about it? You got to, with action, start preparing yourself by either open another business, either start making some moves, or unfortunately, a lot of people are starting to move out of here.
So if you don't want to open up a business, then what's the other best criteria or angle for you to be able to at least stay in the game?
If you own a home and you're in a tough financial bind, and if you just want to maintain your standard of living, what a lot of people are doing in Miami is basically, if you have a garage, a lot of people are converting that property into another multifamily. Yeah. And they're renting that garage out.
Still running a business.
And they're still running a business.
So you would tell people you got to start a business.
I would tell people to open their mind into how to create income
in other ways,
like how we teach our clients.
Totally.
In this age that we're in right now, COVID was the worst that's ever happened to us, but in other things it was the best, because it decentralized the work environment, meaning that you can work anywhere and do everything at the same time. And the internet is so powerful that you just need a router, you need your laptop, and from this simple device and your cell phone,
you can make a lot of money.
You can make a lot of money. A lot of money. Not like back in the traditional days where you just, hey, what's up? We talk about it.
Yeah.
Where you have to drop $300,000 just to open up a brokerage or open up a simple gym or something.
Yeah. And to get advertisement is an arm and a leg.
Arm and a leg. Look how many trainers have you trained for online fitness that, unfortunately, they've been bred with that old school mindset of open a gym, physical. How many people have you opened their mindset into, hey, online?
Hundreds.
The money's there. So it's not about you can't do it. It's about being creative and not becoming the victim of your own story, and figuring out different ways, because there's solutions here.
So here's what you do, guys. If these people are playing the Airbnb game, turn your garage into an Airbnb game.
There you go.
Turn your house into an Airbnb game.
When
you're not there, Airbnb it out. If you have a garage, rent it or Airbnb it out. You got your car, put it on Turo.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's, it's weird because I feel like we're going down our life, we're going down the path of, how everything used to be, okay, you own the movie, you own the CD, you own the songs, you own everything. Now we own nothing. Yeah. But at the same time, we have everything.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to do that with our personal lives too. Right? Because we're in our homes, but yet we don't own it, we're renting it. Our car, we're not going to own it, we're going to rent it.
Your phones too?
Your phone, you don't own it, you rent it. The music, you listen to Spotify, Apple, you don't own the music anymore. They shut it off. No more music for you. So they're really consolidating that power right to the corporation, to that structure. It's scary. And that's where the matrix happens.